Good day, everyone. I am Lorraine Ann Patilan, and now I will discuss about printing press. As you can see in the first slide, there are different things there such as books, newspapers, machines, and materials used for printing. I hope that from those materials, it gives you an idea about what is printing press. Now let's proceed on a question about what is printing press. It is a mechanical device used for applying ink to a surface, like paper, to create an impression. It revolutionized the way information was disseminated, making it possible to mass production of books, pamphlets, and other printed materials. It is considered a key invention of the Renaissance era. So it means it is belong to the Renaissance era. And as you can see in the picture, that was an example of a process using printing press. Now, did you know that printing press has undergone a fascinating evolution? Its transformation from a simple mechanical device to a sophisticated digital technology? Did you ever wondered if who, when, and how was printing press invented? If definitely yes, then let me tell you about the printing press invention, its history, important dates, and facts. Actually, the exact date of the first printing press invention is unknown. However, there are printed materials date as far back as 868 AD. And even though many people believe that the first printing press was invented by Johannes Gutenberg, people in China were actually using a process known as a block printing, and it is to create printed text many centuries before the Gutenberg press. Block printing involves using panels of wooden blocks that have been hand carved in reverse. The ink was applied to these blocks and they were pressed onto a paper to form the printed text. And it is unclear how long ago this process was developed, possibly as long ago as the 6th century. However, as you can see at the picture, that was the oldest known printed book that used this method, and that is called the Diamond Sutra. That is one page coming from the Diamond Sutra, a Buddhist book from Dunhuang, China, dated 868 AD. After that, it was followed by movable type of printing which replaced the block printing around 970 AD. This process was created by Bi Sheng, who lived in Yingshan, Hubei, China from about 970 to 1051 AD. The first version of this type of printing involved carving individual letters into clay blocks, then baking them until they were hard, and these blocks were then arranged onto an iron frame which was pressed against an iron plate. And the great advantage of the movable type was that you could reuse the letters for different text. And as you can see at the picture, that was the example of the carved individual letters that turned into clay blocks, and then they baked that make it that became hard and used for this type of printing. Now let's proceed to the wood type updated. This was actually a comeback of the process of using wood type in 1297. It was when Wang Shen, a Chinese magistrate, improved on using this technique, which is a wooden type of printing, and he developed a way of making the wood more precise and durable, thus giving you a better finished product. And as you can see at the first picture at the presentation, that was an example of updated wooden type of printing during 1297. And aside from that, he also created a type of revolving table, as you can see at the second picture, showing a two round table. That was the type setters were able to use to organize the type more efficiently. And this process greatly sped up the printing process. And the book Nongshu was actually printed using this process, and it is considered to be the world's first mass-produced book. Then it was followed by the Gutenberg press in 1450, which was developed by Johannes Gutenberg, a printing machine that was ready to be used commercially that used metal pieces instead of wood. And as you can see at the picture, that was an example of a printing press or the Gutenberg press. And each letter was made to uniformly fit together so that the resulting print would be in perfectly straight lines and columns. He also created a special ink that would stick to metal since this printing press was using metal. And in addition, he also figured out that a way to flatten the printing paper to give a better finished product is by using a wine press that had previously been used to press grapes and olives. And Gutenberg used his printing press invention to print the famous Gutenberg Bible. And he made it about 180 copies of Bible, and all of the beautiful pages of this book had 42 lines of Gothic type set in a double columns, and it even featured some letters printed with colored ink. And until now, or this day, there's still 21 complete copies of the said Bible. Now let's proceed to the spread of printing in Europe, and it was during 1465 to 1495. Many workers who had helped Gutenberg perfect his printing process became printers themselves in Germany. The printing press was later brought to Italy in 1465 and in 1470. German printers were asked to set up printing presses in Sorbonne, Paris, where Spain and Portugal invited German printers to set up in their countries in 1473 and 1495. Then finally, the printing press was brought to England in 1476 by William Caxton, who is an Englishman that had gone to Cologne to learn how to print in 1471. And that's how the printing spread in Europe. Then it was followed by industrial printing press invention during 1800s to 1843. Even though the essential workings of the Gutenberg press remained intact, the invention of mechanical printing press made the printing process much more efficient. In 1800s, Lord Stanhope built a press that was completely made of cast iron with double the printed area, and that was able to produce 480 pages per hour, thus doubling the production of the previous presses. Then, the steam-powered rotary printing press, which Richard M. Hoe invented in the United States in 1843, made the printing process even faster, producing millions of copies of a page in one day. So, as you can see at the picture, that was a steam-powered printing presses made the printing more efficient during that time. Finally, we're here to modern printing processes, which are the offset and digital printing, which is the two main printing processes used today. And now we're going to talk about first the offset printing or the offset lithography printing, which involves transferring your image onto an intermediate surface before printing it onto the final sheet. It is ideal for printing longer runs over 1000 with either single, multi, or full color printing. Here, it is often considered to be a higher quality printing method. However, digital printing technology has improved considerably over the years. So now you're able to get a much better finished product than you could when it was first introduced. And also, in offset printing, it is considered as the most prevalent and demanded printing techniques used in various industries, since behind this is the fact that it has the ability to produce a large amount of prints in a short period of time. And this printing technology can be applied to various substrates including paper, metal, plastics, glass, and even textile. The lithography offset printing also features versatility as it has no limitations on the size of or shape of the substrate. However, when it comes to digital printing, here uses digital based images from desktop publishing or other digital sources to print directly onto the wide variety of media. Here it is either toner or inkjet printing. Both toner and inkjet printing uses CMYK color that you can see at your printer to achieve printing full color on a wide spectrum of paper stocks. And this is also ideal for smaller volume runs. Digital printing offers many possibilities for developing your project. And this technology delivers on demand printing for brilliant eye catching results, which is perfect for small businesses solutions. And that's how the evolution of printing press happened. Now let's proceed to the significance and influence of printing press on communication, society, and culture. First in communication is the mass production of text. The printing press allowed for the rapid and inexpensive production of books, pamphlets, and other printed materials, and this made information more accessible to wider audience. Second is the spread of knowledge and ideas. The printing press facilitated the spread of knowledge, scientific discoveries, religious teachings, and political ideas across geographical boundaries. And this lead to increased literacy and a more informed public. The third one is the standardization of language. It means that the printing press helped standardize languages by creating a common written form, contributing to the development of national identities and the spread of vernacular languages. Now let's proceed to society. The first one in society is the rise of the middle class. The printing press contributed to the growth of the middle class by creating new jobs and opportunities in printing and publishing and related industries. The second is increased literacy and education. The availability of printed materials led to significant increase in literacy rates, opening doors to education for a broader segment of society, which is a very important aspect here in our society. Another is political and religious reform. The printing press played a crucial role when it comes to the Reformation by allowing religious reformers to spread their ideas and challenge the authority of the Catholic Church. And it also facilitated the dissemination of political pamphlets and treatises, contributing to the development of democratic ideas. Now let's proceed to culture. The first one in culture is the preservation of knowledge. The printing press facilitated the preservation of knowledge by creating multiple copies of books and documents, ensuring their survival and accessibility for future generations. As I gave example earlier, what I gave example earlier, those books that has been preserved, those knowledge in on them that has been preserved because of printing press. Another is the development of libraries and printing houses, which is also very important. The printing press led to establishment of libraries and printing houses, which serves as a centers for learning and cultural exchange. And the last one is the rise of newspapers and magazines, which also plays a pivotal role in our society or in culture, since it paved way for the development of newspapers and magazines, providing a platform for news, information, and public discourse. So that's why printing press really influence and very important when it comes to the communication here in our society. And that's all. Again, I am Lorraine Anpatilan saying thank you for your attention for watching this presentation.